Our actual human condition is that we are part of a state.
You say it's un-Islamic. What if they say Islam is beyond borders, beyond state, beyond legal documents?
As a religion, Islam is beyond state. Any religion, for that matter, is above the identity of a state. You know, I could be a Christian in Kosovo, I can be a Christian in France, I could be a Christian in Chile. Yes, so religion as an identity is an identity that is above state. But at the same time, our actual human condition is that we are part of a state. And that's what the Prophet, peace be upon him, established when he went to Medina, and he established the state of Medina, and there were borders and there were rules and rule of law, etc.
So according to that, must a true Muslim person respect only Medina, or do you respect your own state?
No, you have to respect your state. As a matter of fact, the Prophet, peace be upon him, condemned the person who fights under a blind banner, rayatu amya. Meaning, the understanding of this, or one of the understandings of this hadith text, is that for me to engage in a legitimate warfare from the Islamic point of view, it has to be a declaration of war by the body politic to which I belong.
Dr. Elgawhary, I particularly want to stop here because we had people after 2000, when Kosovo got liberated and became open to, for the first time, to all religions after socialism. At that time, we had people who said also, you shouldn't vote. They denied the state of Kosovo. Later, they ripped the passport of Kosovo in front of the cameras. Is that what Islam promotes?
No, I mean, that's actually, I'm smiling because that's sort of textbook, extremist ideology, because that's what they do in all sorts of situations. We must understand that I cannot practice my faith unless I have the blanket of safety that is provided by a state. All of us. The fact that I'm able to travel here freely and be accepted amongst you, to sit with you, and to be able, the freedom that we have to be able to have this conversation is a direct function of the state. It's a blessing that I should be grateful for, and that you should be grateful for. And non-Muslim Kosovo citizens should be grateful. We're all grateful that we have this rule of law and this order, or else we wouldn't be able to live our lives. So no, this is not true. And as a matter of fact, this is one of the common misconceptions that people have, is that somehow the modern state is the enemy. The modern state is not the enemy, neither is the medieval state. A state is part of the human condition. We must have rules, we must have laws, we must have rights, we must have borders, to be able to freely practice. The Muslim jurists say if you have a place to pray, ability to fast, to marry and divorce, according to our customs, to be buried as a Muslim, to eat halal food, then all of these things mean that you have Dar al-Islam, you have an abode of Islam, even if you are living amongst non-Muslims. So for us to be able to practice freely, any faith for that matter, we must have this blanket of security. So the state is a blessing. That is, part of the necessity of a dignified life.
When I hear you, it sounds like democracy is the best place for Islam to thrive. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
I wouldn't say that necessarily, because that would limit the possibility of Islam to be only practiced in a democracy. But Islam, indeed any religion, can thrive in any type of political situation. So I'm not going to be a Western ideologue and say that the Republican form of government or the democratic form of government, even though as an American that's the type of government to which I belong, I'm not going to say that it's the best or the only, because there are other forms of government. But it seems to be, at least theoretically, it seems to, yes, provide a lot of freedoms.